I'm running out of time on the StreamYard, and they limit you to 20 hours a um, a week, and or 20 hours in a month. I'm sorry, and I've pretty much used up all that time. Now let me see if I can get this going the correct way. I haven't used OBS in a while, and it takes a little bit, just a little bit more, I don't know, practice to get it to do what I want. But anyway, I tried to do a live stream earlier, and it was just to show the Blue Angels and Thunderbirds that were going to be flying over the hospitals in our area. And unfortunately, that didn't work out. They apparently didn't get into my range, of where I was. So I didn't get them on film. But I thought I would try this since I'm off work at this point. I have taken a voluntary furlough, and I will be off for the whole month of May. Let me see what I can keep this going here. So I don't know if anybody's catching on just yet or not. Hey, there's Leonard. Leonard Walters from Colorado. Thank you, Leonard. Glad you're here. Um, I'm trying to make sure I've got this working properly. Uh, Again, I'm using a different um, setup than I was with uh, the other stream service that I use, which is StreamYard. So if you're here, great. Maybe we can answer some questions. Unfortunately, with this setup, I can't add another person into the chat. So it's going to have to be, um, you know, question and answer, and we'll see how this goes. Again, I'm doing this uh, on a Saturday, which I haven't tried before, and there's a little bit different situation on using it. So Reese is here, great. Harvey's here, all right, cool. Yeah, like I said, this setup is just a little bit different, and I'm trying to remember the options that I can use with this, because this one, it has a little view counter up here, and of course it has my logo up here, and I can do different things with it, but unfortunately, at least from my understanding, I can't bring somebody else into it. Now, let me see if I can get this. There's another thing I need to do to make this work better, and I apologize for not having this ready sooner, you know, but I wanted to get on here and get things moving. Um, so anyway, it's a beautiful day in Georgia, and I tried to get outside and film the. Okay, so the video and audio look great. Cool, good. I'm trying to click around a little bit and uh, see, make sure it's working okay. So we got Mike from Cleveland. Cool, glad to have you. And I had heard about the idea of the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. They're supposed to be flying together, going over different hospitals and areas, and just to give some uh, credit or accolades to our healthcare workers who are in the hospitals. So I was hoping that I could get there and see something, but I didn't know the full flight path. I knew roughly where it was coming and going, but I was hoping they had to make a turn somewhere near my house, but it just didn't work out. So, uh, okay, Jordan, beautiful day in South Jersey, cool. And Bernie, raining in Washington. Yep. Well, it's getting warm here. The temperature's probably well past 75 at this point, but beautiful weather, just beautiful. And like I said, this is different for me because normally I'm at work. and I thought I would just jump on here and give this a shot. So we have Jerry in Nashville. Great, glad to have you here. And I know this isn't. I didn't announce this at all, um, and so it may catch people off guard. It may just be checking in and going, "Oh, hey, he's on." And so anyway, I'm still getting a drop frame rate on my notification down here, which is, I don't know if I can do anything with that or not. Um, let me check this. Yeah, I can't change all that stuff. Anyway, so how's everybody doing? Y'all staying home, staying healthy, washing your hands, getting fat? I know that I haven't been to the gym in a month at least, and I was running 2 to 3 times a week, and that's kind of dropped off. I had some minor, I think minor health things going on, and it was better off for me to take a step back from trying to run so much. And you know, as we get older, we have to deal with different things in life, and obviously health is one of those things that comes into play. And I'm trying to take care of myself, trying to do the right thing, but I'm still not. We all do the wrong things. We all eat the cake and drink coffee, and people, alcohol, whatever, all that stuff is detrimental, they say. But so we got Nick Pixel on here, live on a Saturday, finally a day without rain up here. Go outside, of course, after the stream. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. Yep. Yeah, in fact, Nick, I watched a video, and that video, Nick, I watched on your chainsaw that you did the electric chainsaw review for the Harbor Freight, and that thing has gotten, I think last I checked, it had like 75,000 views, which is really good. And I was at Harbor Freight the other day I thought about buying a chainsaw, and I almost bought one of those chainsaws, and I didn't see any of the 80 volts on the shelf, but they had the 40 volt. And I'd considered the 40 volt because I don't cut a lot of trees. I was just looking at something to use out in the backyard. If I have a tree that's blown over, or had some, broken limbs or something, I thought maybe I could take that and just trim up some stuff, but I didn't pull the trigger. I could not make myself buy either of those, even though I really wanted to. you know, hopefully everybody got that stimulus check. You got to spend it somewhere, and I haven't decided exactly where that's going to go yet. Leonard says all good here in the mountains, but the wind is blowing like crazy. Yeah, I'm sure. I've been to Colorado a couple times, and yeah, certain areas are very windy. Yeah. Let's see. Harvey working on a side job with Jordan and enjoying the day. Cool. And Arthur Woodward saying hello to everybody. Cool. Pretty good. This is just kind of a out in the open day for me, and I was looking at some of the responses I've gotten on the last couple of videos, and they've been very good, as usual. So I appreciate all that. Appreciate the feedback that I get on those videos, and sometimes when I make something, I get a little concerned. It's like, is this going to be worth making? Is this something people are interested in? And ultimately, it turns out, yeah, if I make something, people want to watch it and try to learn something from it. And so that's where I was with that door skin video. I wasn't sure, is this, again, something I really want to mess with or, do in this process. But I did, and it's gotten great feedback on it, so that's cool. And I said, when I did the strip down video on Jade, that I was going to skip over that door and not do that repair at this point. I wanted to get it in epoxy, but as I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm thinking, well, it's sitting right here on the stand, and what value do I have in coating this with epoxy only to come back later and cut that, sand it off and start over? So that's why I went ahead and took care of that patch. Now, there's still more to do as far as internally, because as somebody had mentioned, they use a wax that will help prevent rust. you know. And so I'm going to do something. Hey, Russ is here. Cool. Uh, oh, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Butch. I'll give you a bell for that. Had to help Butch out with his Jeep yesterday. He had some problems with the exhaust, but got it taken care of. But anyway, so the door on the Mustang, I'm going to have to, put something inside, and whether it's uh, um, chassis saver or port 15 or something, I'll get something down in that. Now I've already done the inside corner with the navel jelly and then applied some paint on top of that after it was all dried out. So I'll have to come up with something, and it may just be, I don't know, something. But by all means, if you're doing that kind of repair work, it's tough to get in there. So I may have to do something along the lines of blowing it in like I did with the rocker panel on Jade. And hey, Greg is there. All right, Greg Workshop showed up. Wow, that's cool. Um, if you haven't seen, if you look, it says Greg Workshop there on the right. Greg is in Australia, and man, he can build some stuff. Now he does all his own fabrication. He's the one that had the '79 Ford Cortina that we used on the Viewers Project. And if you look at his stuff, I know he's in the middle of building a forge right now, and so he's been trying to take care of some processes with that forge to make it work properly. But man, I just love watching him. He's welding and grinding and putting things together, and it's really neat to see that stuff. But I'm glad Greg is here. And if I had the other stuff going, the Streamlab, I could probably try to get Greg on here, but maybe I'll do that on another day. I know that, like I said, the Streamlab, it gives me that option to get people on, but they only give you 20 hours in a 1 month period. And I think I'm down to it's 18, 18 and a half or 19 hours used. So I didn't want to start, a thing. And then of course they want you to pay for, extended services. So I've looked at maybe doing that, because with that I can also, and maybe Nick can answer this for me as well, because I think he has a subscription to Streamlab. If I understand correctly, I can add stuff like up here on the screen. I could have a video running, so that video could be one of my videos, I think, and people could ask questions about the video as it's going on or stuff like that, or pictures. I can add pictures in. So it takes a little more work to make it do what you want, but I'm considering doing that at some point. But it's been really fun to do these live streams and have people interact. So we have Rage asking, "Hey Barry, do you ever get over here to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee?" I've never been to Pigeon Forge. I've been through Tennessee. I've been in various parts of Tennessee, but I've never been to Pigeon Forge. I know they have a big cruise in or car show up there, don't they? And I'm pretty sure they have some huge event up there, but I've never gone. So let's see, Franz Wijnans. I don't know how to say that. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Franz. Hello from Holland. Well, glad you're here. So Nick, yeah, it's $20 a month or something. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I think you can add like pictures and video and different things, which this system here, OBS, is pretty awesome. It seems like through the OBS the video is a little bit clearer for some reason. And I don't know why, if it's just the way Streamlabs operates versus how OBS operates. But anyway, so Harvey drilled a small hole into a nozzle and used a straw to direct rust encapsulator interiors like a door. Yep. That's like that's an easy way to do it, and that's something I'll probably do on that door. And I know I need to do it on the driver's door as well. Unfortunately, the can of chassis saver I have has completely dried out, as they normally do. So I may have to maybe I'll run down to Summit and get some more. Just give me a reason to go to Summit, right? Go to Summit Racing and buy some more either chassis saver or port 15 or something, because I need that excuse to go there. You have to have an excuse to go to Summit Racing, and maybe that's a good one I can use. Uh, Rage 66 Mustang here, lots of car shows. Okay, so that's in Pigeon Forge, lots of car shows. Yeah, I've heard that, but I have not. Uh, I just haven't had a chance to get up there. So, anyway, Nick, yeah, you can do a ticker and your logo and such. It's not too bad. Streamlabs only does 720p. They don't have 1080 yet. Okay, well that would explain why OBS, at least my assumption is that OBS is much clearer than the Streamlab. And I do know that, I'm looking at this, and there's all kinds of things you can do which I'm not real comfortable with, because I haven't played with this stuff much. But you can add stuff to it, different things. But I'm not gonna. I may have to experiment when I'm offline and see how that goes, because there's all kinds of different things you can do with these Streamlabs. So let's see. Tony, hi from Northeast England. Blue skies for a change. Wow. Well, I don't. Based on what I see, normally there's not many. They don't often have blue skies in England, from what I gather. So I'll give you a bell for having blue skies in England. JMT, ponies in the Smokies. Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a interesting event. Rage, any experience with an Edelbrock EFI? No, have not messed with it. Basically everything I've worked on has been carbureted. But I've heard good things, but I can't give you any good, I can't tell you anything about them. John Krellin, JC, hi Barry, hi guys. I finally got the day off after 5 weeks. Wow. Wait. I'll give you a bell for getting the day off after 5 weeks. That's great. And Rage is saying, "Yep, ponies in the Smokies, huge Mustang show." Well, one of these days. When is it? When is the event? When is it up in Pigeon Forge? Because, like I said, well, and of course, with the restrictions they're putting on us now, no gatherings or whatever. And some states are really jumping on that and pushing it hard, and other states are just, kind of letting it up to people. I know in the state of Georgia, it's been relaxed somewhat, but I see stuff out like California where they're blocking off all the beaches and forcing people to stay away and all that stuff. So that's kind of disappointing, but that's how it is. But if I don't know when those events are up at Pigeon Forge, and it might be kind of fun to get up there and do some walkarounds, see what's going on. I'm hoping. I'm not sure tonight yet. In our little town, they normally do a Saturday night cruise in at the local pizza shop, and I have not heard if that's going to happen. But tonight, or late this afternoon, I'll probably drive over there just to see, because if it's there, I'll do a walk around and get an idea of who's there, and meet up with some old friends and talk about stuff going on. So we'll have to see how that goes. What was the other thing I was going to mention? Anyway, so the next video that I'm working towards is getting that epoxy on the Brooklyn Pony, and I've got to do some work on the roof, because I think there's some videos from probably a couple years ago where I had taken some of the what's the name of it again? The 3X rust dissolver that I had used on the roof of the Jade Mustang, and it did a really good job, and I was happy with it. And of course, after all that was done, I put the epoxy, coated it with epoxy, and I did put some layer of filler on top, but I block sanded that down, or some of it, and I used DA on some of it, and I found a bunch of just a little pits all over the place. So I'm going back and applying more filler so I can block that out and try to get it smooth. And it's not really, may not be necessary, let's say, but I'm going to spray everything again with epoxy, the whole over top of all the filler and everything, and getting it all, basically to one color. Now, again, I said the right front fender I'm not going to mess with. It's pretty bad, and I think I may have shown some videos on that before. It's sitting back there, big chunks where there's just massive amounts of body filler, and where you sand off the filler, the metal isn't there. There's stuff missing. So not a good thing. Oh, okay, so the Ponies in the Smokies has been delayed. It's usually in March. Brian, nice to see you on Saturday, Barry. You can help me with this Subaru head gasket job, and then I can get back to my 69 project. Well, that head gasket shouldn't be that bad. I mean, it's a small engine, right? Just takes a little different approach on the angles to get it back together, I guess. Tony Wilcox, looking forward to shows starting again. Have 65 Mustang 200 and 78 Mustang 302. Cool. That's nice. The Mustang 2 generation, even though they were V8 cars, and I don't want to, not to degrade them, but like it's the size of a Pinto basically with a V8 engine in it. But those things were so dogged down. They had so much emissions junk on them, and I can't even speculate if they made over 120 horsepower out of those things, if that. So I know, of course, later on, you can fix it, get rid of all the emissions junk, and make it run. Leonard, I guess some other YouTube channels showing driving car shows. Yeah. That's an option. It's people want to see cars. It's hard to go and um, go to these shows if people are restricted, can't get out. So, hey Robert, glad you're here. Rage, rewire the Mustang with a wire tuck over the winter. Redid the interior and completed all the truck. Wired truck over the winter. It's going to put the Bredock in. Already purchased, but only so much time. Yeah. Time is a thing when it comes to working on these. You have to talk to Greg about RRS. Okay. Okay. RRS. I'm not sure about RRS, whatever that may be, but yeah, 89 horsepower in base form. I believe it. Those engines were just pitiful. They had, anytime around 73, 74, they choked those engines down to where they didn't have any life, thinking that it was going to help with emissions or fuel economy or whatever. But man, those things were just terrible. Any of them. It didn't matter who made it. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whatever. They were just terrible on horsepower. You look at stuff today that they build where, what did I see? There was that R-Spec little Honda Civic. That little R-Spec Honda Civic is built like a little race car, and it's a 4-cylinder, and it makes like 330 horsepower, which is crazy. But anyway, and you compare that to the stuff we were running around in the 70s and 80s, where it just terrible. Let's see, Tony, 78 302 right-hand drive, UK spec, no emissions. Oh, 140 horsepower. Interesting. So right-hand, and I missed it. Okay, yeah, you're from Northeast England. Okay. 78 302 right-hand drive. Wow. That sounds like a real rarity to me, even that it still exists, because a lot of those cars, they didn't last long. They they were not well taken care of, and they had the Cobras and the different versions of, I think that the Shelby and stuff like that, but it was really just add-on pieces that made the car more special. But there's not a big market, as far as I know, or I've seen. There's not a huge. I mean, there's a following and there's a market, but I don't. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw a Mustang 2 on the road anywhere in Georgia. I think I may have seen one. I may have seen one a year ago at a car show, but it's pretty rare to see one of those driving around. RRS is a Australian company that makes strut suspensions for the vintage Mustang. Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you a belt for that. That's some information I didn't know. And but if they only do they sell only in Australia, or do they sell to the States or other countries? That might be some good information to know. So you could, if you want to share that with us, that would be great. Uh, like I said, when I started this video, I was trying to do another live stream with the planes flying over, but that didn't work out. So I thought I would just, again, do this, and I'm going to do this for about an hour today, and we're 26 minutes into it, which is great. I still, there's 20 viewers, which is fantastic. Well, over here on this, no, over there on the sidebar it says 20 viewers, but up here it says 19, so maybe there's some discrepancy. Let's see. Leonard, don't they drive on the wrong side of the road? That's all a matter of opinion, I guess. JMT, does anyone know wait a minute. I'm missing a few words in there. Does anyone know how to, you're missing some words, JMT. I'm not sure what you're trying to say. Ford 200 cubic inch head from Australia. Does anyone know? I don't know what you have to rephrase that. You missed some words. Well, the problem is, you talk about driving on the wrong side of the road. Well, we in the States, we drive on the right side of the road with our driver on the left, which is center line of the road, right? That's just how it is. Over in various countries in Europe, they drive on the left side of the road, and again, the driver is on the right side of the car, which is center line of the road. I think the problem really is that we need to quit making cars that are right-hand drive. If we quit doing that, then everybody will have a car that drives from the left side of the car, which forces them to the right side of the road. So it just makes sense to me. But I doubt that anybody else is going to follow that logic very well. Yeah, I've thought about going to, other countries, but I don't know that I'd want to try driving over there, just because I'm not comfortable with the idea of sitting in a passenger seat, and what I say is a passenger seat, their driver's seat, and trying to drive a car. Trying to envision, let's say you had a stick shift car and you trying to make that work with your left hand and drive with your right. It just feels I don't know. It feels like it would be all way off. Okay, so JMT is asking, does anyone know how to purchase a Ford 200 cubic inch cylinder head from Australia? Okay, so are you asking? I want to make sure we get this right, because JMT. Okay, so you're up in Tennessee, right? And you're wanting to buy a 200 cubic inch cylinder head from Australia. You want something shipped from Australia to the States, is what you're asking. I don't know how to answer that for you. So if somebody can answer that question, how you can purchase, and what's significant about buying one from Australia? Let me ask you that. When you say, from Australia, is there a reason why you want an Australian cylinder head? Let's see. JMT Ford Australia has a aluminum cast head vintage inlines in California used to import and sell, but no luck getting to on the list. I was interested if anyone knew how to source this head. Okay, so you're looking for an aluminum a cylinder head that's aluminum for 200 cubic inch that is primarily made in Australia. Hopefully, I got that right. Um, so if anybody has an answer for that, I don't know. So we got Bandits Info Channel. How's it going? It's going good. Things are nice. Weather's nice. Actually, I have the AC running right now because it was a little stuffy in here earlier. Got the AC on. Very comfortable. Could take a nap. Feels really good. Um, Robert says, go to Greece. They drive on the right. That's a good point. Let's see. Angela, Darlene. Finally got a look at my rear wheel wells. Big rust hole in front top of both. Did you do any videos on patching or replacing the wheel wells? I need to know how to get the car apart with minimal damage. Yes. Yes. I have tons of videos on that. If you go to the Mystique Mustang and look at the playlist, look at the series, I sectioned the wheel houses on the outside, of course taking the quarter panel off, and I did a section repair. Instead of cutting out the whole wheelhouse, I did a section piece of the outer wheelhouse, took care of that. And on the passenger side, I did a patch in the right rear section. So maybe that'll give you some information on how to do that stuff. But so I do have specific repairs for the wheelhouses. Yeah. So hopefully that helps. You go look at the Mystique playlist. That'll be a good one for you. Hey Leonard, Leonard Gilbreth is here. Glad to see you today, Leonard, or see your name in the list. All right, JMT, race or rage. My wife is Australian. Driving is not that bad, really. After a couple of days, you're good. Okay. Well, thanks for that. Appreciate that. Robert, warm and muggy here in Texas. About to turn on my AC as well. Yeah, I don't have it. It's not on in the house. We just have the windows open. But out here in the shop, it's really nice to just kick on that AC and let it do its thing. It's fantastic. Bandits, how's that split working? It's working great. And it's like I said before. I think I mentioned this mini split is not. It's a little probably technically undersized for the size of the shop, because of the height of the ceiling and of course the open rafters and stuff like that. But it will cool this place down, and it will make it warm. But it has to run to do it. And I have yet to put in. I should probably put in some ceiling fans to circulate, but I have not done that. But otherwise, it does a fantastic job, and I'm very happy I put that in. No regrets. I know that when I first installed it, and some people were watching the video like, "Oh, you didn't vacuum the lines, or you didn't do this or do that." I followed the instructions and I put the thing together, and it's working like a champ. So can't complain. JMT, the USA heads have the intake log cast into the head, so it limits carburetor options. Huh. Interesting. Donald, intake manifold is separate from head. Okay. USA heads have the intake. Okay. I think you go by Darlene. I'm not sure. I know it says Angela Darlene. I don't remember, but I will take a look at those. Yeah. If you actually want, the Brook and Pony is kind of a build. I mean, like a build video, building something from nothing, where Mystique is undoing previous repairs that were poorly done and then fixing it. So Mystique has a lot of information, and I find it interesting that it seems like the videos that get watched on my channel the most are the ones that I put on within the last so many months, let's say. And I almost wish I don't know how to make it happen to where, like the Mystique series, that car's all done, or it's with the owner. But it seems like those videos, they still get watched, but they're forgotten about. And those videos are probably more helpful than just about anything else that I've done, as far as, comparing it, let's say, to the Brooklyn Pony, where it's a piecing together of Dynacorn parts, whereas the Mystique is cutting apart and fixing various pieces. Kind of like Jade. Jade is a lot of repair, and I think that's why those last two videos I've done have really done well. The Strip It video, it's got like 5,000 views, which is awesome. And then the door repair video, it's probably 1,200 or so since I put it up, which is really good for numbers. I mean, that's really good. And so I think people are wanting to see more of those repair type videos rather than fighting with putting an engine in a car that things don't, go together very well. So anyway, just my 2 cents. Robert, 100 degrees by Monday here. Have 2 tons of AC in the shop and need more insulated metal building. Hard to cool. Yeah. Yeah. Bandits, you love yours. Yeah. Double R, Russ, he loves his mini split. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, have watched, my video on that and went, you know what? That's a great idea. And it is. Now, granted, I still lose, this big door you see over here. I talked about it before. I put there's brushes around the door to help eliminate, loss air, or loss of air. But that door is uninsulated. So if that was insulated, that would make a big difference. If that wall was insulated, it would help a little, because that one never really gets, this side over here gets the sun, and then in the evening, the back corner gets the sun. There's all kinds of trees back there, so it doesn't really pound on that side very much. But like I was saying, I think I said it before, I'd like to take out that window right there and basically put in a double door and put another addition going that way. But I don't know if I ever get to it. But I would like to have a bigger space and do some woodworking stuff. I like to play with, you know, tools, just about anything, wood or steel, whatever. Yes. Okay, Darlene, do you do any media blasting on a carriage yourself? If so, any advice on area setup to be able to do a recover as much as all? Yeah. Well, I have done some blasting back in the paint booth on the light blue Mustang. I did mainly the firewall area or the shock towers and that sort of thing. It's not a lot of fun, just be honest with you. And if you're doing it, um, you put plastic down and you can capture a lot of the stuff coming down, but the difficulty is straining it back out, because if you get chunks of rust and junk in there, it'll clog up your blaster pretty quick if you have one of those pot blasters, which I have one from Harbor Freight. And uh, anyway, so you have to strain that stuff back out and make it, to keep using it. That's the hard part. Oh yeah. Hopefully that was helpful. I don't know. I know I struggled with the idea of recycling the material, and then my blaster would get jammed up, and I'd have to take everything apart, get the junk out of it, put it back together, start again, and it was just a pain. I really didn't really enjoy doing it. Rage. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're right. There you go. Iron Man's in the house. That's the Hulk Iron Man. That's the big one. The Hulkbuster or whatever that thing was. So you're right. Glad you noticed, because actually Iron Man he's hanging out with Jade, if I remember right now. The little fast Iron Man, but the big Hulk one, I haven't had him on here much. So you're right. I'll give you a bell, Rage, for asking about Iron Man. My coffee's cold. Okay, let's see. Robert, I do some blasting. I tarp everything off, and it goes well. Um, I use crushed glass. Yeah. Whatever you use, wear masks. Definitely. You don't want any of that junk floating in the air and getting in your lungs and face. But you know that. I don't need to tell you that. You know that. So yeah, it's not fun. I had, and I think if you go back and you look at, I may have something on that, and that's in the light blue Mustang series. If you go back to that one, you can see some of the stuff I did. I think so. Go check out the videos from the light blue Mustang in that playlist as well. So you might, and there's a lot of information you might get out of that one too. So just watch all the videos. Just watch them all. Just let them all run and run and run and run and run. Every little bit helps, right? Let's see. All right, so we'll see you, Rage. Glad you were here. That's Robert. Recycling media is a pain. I have a sifter I made up, but the problem is you can't get the fines out, and they get packed in the valves with any moisture. Yeah, yeah. I pretty much gave up. I mean, I'll use that blaster. I haven't used it in a long time, and I think even when I was using that blaster, I used play sand just because it was cheap. I actually had let it dry. I didn't put it straight out of the bag. I let it dry out, out in the sun, flipped it around, moved it, whatever, and uh, it was still a pain. So yes, Darlene. In fact, just go to one of my playlists, start the first one, and just walk away. Just just let the videos run. Uh, I've been having good success with number of views and all that sort of thing. Those are all good. It's still up, which is great. But as I mentioned in the live stream um, I think maybe it was Wednesday, I was talking to, was it Footage Factory? And I was joking around. I said, if you watch the video, just let the ad run. Just let it run because that gets me, a few pennies, whatever. And he was laughing at that. And whenever he actually commented on one of the videos recently, and he said, "Okay, I watched the ad. It was for Oral B, and and then he edited it. It says, "Okay, I'm on ad number 2." He was making a big joke out of it, but anyway, yeah. Gary really enjoyed the new videos. So you're talking about the last couple with Jade? Is that what you're saying? I hope that's what you're saying. Um, and I kind of got, and I'm not saying sidetracked, but with focusing on trying to get stuff done on Brooklyn Pony, and uh, not not doing much else, and I needed to step away from the Brooklyn Pony. I just had to step away because it was so frustrating, and that's why I decided, you know what, I need to get stuff done on Jade and get her out the door, be able to drive it out of the paint booth back there, and so that's why I'm doing that. So let's see, or Darlene. Luckily, Alaska is very low in humidity. That's good. I was up there several years ago now on a cruise. Beautiful. I loved it. It was. I mean, we were up there in, I think it was June. It was June, and had a group. We had 3 other couples with us, and my wife and I went. We did horseback riding up there in some area. I don't know what it was. Um, just just amazing. Alaska is just amazing, beautiful. Nothing like it. Let's see. Russ, I'm getting ready to try a new Brute Blaster on a door shell. Well, there you go. Brute Blaster. Have not heard of that. If you haven't checked out Russ's channel, check out Double R Restorations. He is very, very, very detailed in what he's doing on his cars. He's building a couple different Camaros, and just really making things as close to factory, at least from what I've seen, as possible, if not better. And just really impressive. So if you get a chance, check out Russ's channel and give him a thumbs up on that stuff. Subscribe. Uh, Butch, it was Harvey that he was trying to think of yesterday. Oh, okay. Yeah, but William Butch had stopped by yesterday with some problems with his Jeep, and we were talking about people with on the YouTube channel who are commenting and different things. And I thought he was talking about Andrew from Grease Rookie, but he was talking about Harvey. So at least we cleared that up, Butch. Let's see, Leonard, I've used fine window screens to shift my sand. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a variety of things you can use. I know I had a filter that had screens in it, that you could, or a funnel. I mean, a funnel that you could dump the sand in. You had to kind of shake it and try to get it to go, down through the screen. But it's still not fun. Given the choice, and if money wasn't the issue, I would just pay somebody to do it. If I do something big in the future, I may have somebody just show up out here with their portable unit and blast the car and be done with it. It's just so much more efficient for me. Darlene, June is the best time to come. It's so beautiful. Yeah, yeah. We did a cruise up there, like I said, with other couples, and we went to Skagway and went to the Mendenhall Glacier. I think we saw that. What was the other one? I'm not sure we went to Juneau or not, but it was definitely Skagway. We rode the rail line. They have an old rail train that you can ride all the way up basically into Canada, and we rode that train. That was so cool because you ride all the way up and then they lock it down, and they take the engine from the front, pulling you up the mountains, and they take it around the train and they put it on the back of the train and then take you back down the mountains. Just amazing scenery. I can't say that, I'm not to get off subject at all because there's really no subject here. But if you get a chance to go to Alaska, go see Alaska. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And if you really get a chance, we'd gone up to, we did gosh, I can't think of the name of it. I know Skagway was one. What's the other one? Anyway, part of our tour package, it was I think we were near the Mendenhall Glaciers, wherever that is. We were able to buy a meal for all you can eat food at some place. It was like off in the woods. I don't know the name of it. We got on a bus and they took us off in the woods somewhere, and they had all you can eat salmon, the freshest salmon you'll ever get, and it had all the side dishes, desserts, beer, and I'm not here to promote beer necessarily, but if you haven't try Alaskan Amber. Excellent beer, excellent. Anyway, so we had done that, but also on that same day in that area, we had gone by I guess the docks or whatever, and right on the shoreline, they have, crab shacks, and we had, and I'm a big fan of the Alaskan king crab. It's got the legs that long; they're just amazing. So we had the freshest Alaskan king crab you could get right there. And they were cooking it up. Great memories. Great memories. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you for making me think of those. That was really cool. You're welcome, Russ. You have a great channel. One of these, and Russ is on Instagram too. So Double R Restoration. So I want to check him out there as well. Brian, I blasted my project with the black diamond fine medium, which left a slightly rough texture. Do I need to smooth it out before primer, or will the 2X take care of it? Well, that's a good question. I can't say how, we say slightly rough texture and what panels. It wouldn't hurt to go over it in a lot of areas with like 80 grit, just to try to smooth off any of that, just a little. And then, as you put your, I'm assuming you're going to put epoxy on there if you haven't already. Um, Epoxy is going to take up some of that space, and then the high build will surely take care of the rest of it. So just if you can go over with some 80 grit on a DA and smooth it out a little bit. Uh, that would be probably very beneficial. Richard Cruz, you're the man. Well, so are you, Richard. Thank you. Appreciate it. Darlene, not too many places up here for media blasting, and the ones that do know they are it and charge a fortune. Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. I mean, limited audience, let's say. Husband loves Alaskan Amber. Yeah. We went to, what was it? I think we went to the Red Dog Saloon. It was one of the places we went to. There was two different saloon places. It's touristy. It's designed for tourists, but Red Dog. I think it was Red Dog, and they tell a story of how I'm pretty sure it was Red Dog. Wait a minute. Yeah, back there you can see there's right there is a license plate that says Red Dog on it. Yeah, that had to be it. But the Red Dog was they had a story. They had like swinging doors, like an old bar would have, and or an old West Tavern type place. Anyway, they tell the story of how a bear, like I guess a black bear, I don't even know what kind of bear it was, showed up in the town and uh, walked in to the bar, and all these patrons are in there eating and drinking, and the bear walked in, and everybody just sat still, and the bear went around the different tables just taking food from the patrons in the bar, and uh, the bar owner said, "Just let him have his food. We'll replace whatever he takes." We found that pretty hard to imagine, but I'm sure it was uh, pretty interesting. But anyway, that's where I tried the Alaskan Amber, which is really good. Darlene, no, we weren't in Homer. Yeah, it was Skagway was one of them. Ah, I'd have to look it up. I'd have to I'd have to look it up, but because it's man, I don't know. But anyway, it was really cool. Well worth it to go on the trip, and it was actually an anniversary trip we did for my wife and I. So it was really awesome. Again, if you haven't been to Alaska, put it on your wish list somehow and make it happen. There's other places I'd love to go as well. I still want to go to Hawaii. Haven't been there. My wife has relatives there, and so we're gonna probably try to make that. I hope to make that trip in the next couple of years and get over there and check it out. Um, man, I can't remember the night. I'm trying to remember, Darlene. I know it was Skagway was one. I can't think of it. I can't think of it. But anyway, Red Dog Saloon. Maybe it's. Oh, maybe it does say Juneau on it. Let me look at that thing. Yeah. Yeah, it says Juneau. So Juneau was the other stop. I don't know. Still pretty awesome. Um. Anyway. Nope. Got some. And Darlene, I thought that saloon was there. They have something similar, but a lot of places have stories like it. Yeah. We just assumed it was a story. I don't know if there's any truth to the matter. Hard to say. Ricard, make a trip to Sweden. That would be awesome. I would love to go to Sweden and just stop by Ricard's place and check out his Mach 1. You never know, honestly. You just never really know. Um, there's all kinds of places I would love to travel and get around. The difficulty for us, we have our kids are grown, which is great, and uh, so yeah, Darlene, Juneau, see, Red Dog Saloon, Juneau. Um, anyway, with our kids grown, we've got a got a couple of cats in the house, and we're down to 2 dogs. We had 3, and just um, about 3 weeks ago, we had to put one of our dogs down. She was old and not doing well, and we had to just. That's the way it is, you know. That's how it works. Unfortunately, dogs don't have the lifespan that we do, but we have to enjoy them while they're here. And when it's time for them to go, I suggest let them go because they don't need to be suffering with ailments or injuries or anything like that. But anyway, um, yeah. So the difficulty for us is leaving or finding somebody to keep track of our animals if we go on a trip somewhere. But we'll figure it out. We'll get there at some point. And what else is going on? Not much. I did get some. I think I pointed out before. I showed it on another video that I got a new banner that I need to get up here somewhere in the shop, and I had some new stickers made. So they're a little bit different than the previous version. They changed it up on me. I don't know why, but if you look closely, you'll see that black line around the edge of the around the old sticker, but not around the new sticker. So I guess this is generation 1. I don't know. I don't know why, but it's fine. You know, it doesn't hurt anything, but that's how it is. Um, anyway, let's see. Darlene, it very well could be true. I've driven down the street here, Anchorage, and really big moose was just walking down the street in his lane. People giving him plenty of space. Yeah. Yeah. Let the moose have the right of way. You definitely stay out of the way of the moose. All right. Anyway, so I have some more stuff to do. I'm going to try to get a little more done on Jade today, getting it ready for that epoxy. And other than that, not much else. You know, good weather, and just trying to enjoy the day. Like I said, I took a voluntary furlough from work, so I'm off till I guess till May 30th. I go back. I guess May 31st. I go back, unless I decide to extend it another 30 days, and I haven't decided. You know, of course, I haven't had weekends off in, gosh, 10 years. Probably about 10 years that I've worked weekends. And so for me to have a Saturday off, it feels weird. I just, I don't know how to handle it. But I'll make do. I'll get by. Um, so anyway, stay tuned for the next couple of videos that are coming out. Hopefully, I can get that epoxy on, get the doors back on the car, and get it out the door. That's the goal. I want to be able to drive it out the door and be happy with it. So, yeah, thank you, Darlene. Yeah, she was 13, Boston Terrier mix. I think I may have shown a picture before of her. And all of our dogs are rescue dogs, so we don't we don't go out and get the expensive whatever dogs. But yeah, there's this was Katie, and this was about probably a week before she passed. But she was really struggling. She had apparently she wasn't making white blood cells, and she was a few times over the past month or prior she would like run outside and pass out. She would just pass out, and we thought she was having like a seizure or something, but it was because she's just nothing healthy, nothing healthy going on with her inside. So she was very, and not to go into great detail and stuff, but if you look at a dog's gums and they're pale, they're not getting blood flow. So we noticed that she was struggling to get proper blood flow and stuff. So anyway, we made a decision to put her down, and she's better. It's fine. We struggled, but it's fine. So anyway, so we have Karsten. Yes, I recommend a trip to Sweden. Love to go there. Yeah. Now, if I remember, I want to make sure I got this right. I want to say Denmark for Karsten. I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. I try to remember certain things, and I think last time I was way off on the location for Karsten, but I want to say Denmark now. So I hope that's right. Okay, so it's been an hour, and that's what I said I was going to do. So that's what I'm going to cut it off at. I don't have a viewers project video for tomorrow. I've been trying to put one out on Sundays. I've had several people talk about. Thank you, Karsten, for letting me know. I've had people say they want to do the videos, and I have not gotten anything in the actual stuff to work with yet. So if you're interested in doing a viewers project video, films, we can talk about it. jdaddysgarage@gmail.com, and we can go through the procedure, what we need to do, and try to get something put together and get it out there for the viewers to see, because I know people love those videos. Got great response on those. And with that, I'm going to call it a day. So I have 26 viewers still here. Thank you for being here. Thank for the conversation. It's nice to just have people talk about things. When you're sitting at home doing nothing, nice to have a little conversation and share some information. Hopefully you found something useful about that, or about today. You're welcome, Brian. Appreciate you being here. And with that,